Thank you for coming back to Real Talk, Real Sports. The Super Bowl, if you saw it this evening, was nothing to talk about. It was a disappointment. The Denver Broncos forgot to get on the plane and show up to New York. There was nothing positive to say about this football game except that the Seattle Seahawks are the new world champions. They deserve it. They played their hearts out. It was a tough game. It wasn't tough at all for them to come in here and basically do what they wanted to the Denver Broncos on offense, defense, special teams, coaching. Everything was just on Seattle's side. Nothing went Denver's way. I have nothing else really to say much about this. I mean, the game was just horrifically, disgustingly disappointing. I don't see how we can call this a Super Bowl, but what is your take on the game today?
Well, my take is Seattle won, as I predicted. Russell Wilson kept the game on the 25 throws. He was very efficient. Percy Harvin was definitely the X factor of this game. And the defense, all sides of the ball were playing great. Special teams, Percy Harvin again lit it up. On defense, we got the interception. Two of them. You have the pressure up front. Peyton Manning was rattled since the first play of the game. You saw what happened to that offense.
17 seconds into the game, and we have a safety. Then after that, it just unraveled. Nothing was going their way. Penalties mounted. No running game. The receivers could not get open. The defensive backs of Seattle basically proved who the better ones were. Sherman, Chancellor, Earl Thomas. I mean, they were just sticking on these receivers like white on rice. Basically, there's just nothing that Peyton Manning could do. Again, Wes Welker, making catches about 3 yards a catch. Not going anywhere, getting tackled right as soon as he makes the catches, no broken tackles. There's not really much to say. It just doesn't seem like Denver was in this game from the beginning. It was all Seattle. I have to tip my hat to Seattle. Seattle's defense was on point. The offense was efficient. The running game was efficient. They didn't give up on it. They stuck with it, even though Marshawn wasn't averaging a lot. They just kept giving him the ball. Russell Wilson kept rolling out of the pocket, finding these little hitches. 5 yards, 10 yards, 7 yards, but those receivers kept making plays. I mean, I don't have much to add because, again, I was saying that the Broncos were going to win this game. I was proven horrifically wrong that the Broncos were going to win this game. But you did pick Seattle. The score was a little higher than you expected.
Yeah, definitely expected a closer game, but Seattle seemed to blow this game out of the water. That special teams touchdown by Percy Harvin was actually a plus. The 2 turnovers turned into points. Were great. Nothing else to say, but my hat's off to Seattle and that defense. Pete Carroll, good job on coaching your team.
Yeah, I mean, now when you look back at this game, you say, well, you had an offense from the Denver Broncos who was high-powered, who basically nobody can stop. We get into this type of game where it's offense versus defense, and again, the old saying comes through: defense wins championships. Offense puts people in the stands, but defense wins championships. And it looks like that the offense versus defense analogy came out again with the defense being victorious. And at the end of the day, I mean, for any future teams that are looking out there, you're not going to get very far without having a defense. And Seattle proved it, that you can score 40, 50 points a game, 30 points a game during the regular season. But once you get into the playoffs, it's a whole different matter. Defense, running the ball, something that Denver could just not do in this game. Nothing that they were doing was moving forward. Everything was take one foot forward, another step back. So basically, at the end of the game, it's just Seattle took control of this game and never looked back. They put their foot on their throat and just kept holding it there.
And what do you think about Peyton Manning now? What's to do with the career of Peyton Manning? Will he come back? Will he try to get that other one? Is it over for him? Is he retiring? How do you feel?
As a fan, I would love to say that I would love to see him still throwing touchdowns out there and throwing for 4,000, 5,000 yards. But all season, he couldn't have a bigger regular season than any other quarterback. I mean, you just can't top what he did.
Best season of his career.
But you get to a championship like this, you put in all that hard work after coming from neck surgery, 4 multiple neck surgeries, and again, you come up short, and you come up short this way. I mean, it was just pathetic how that offense responded today. It makes you want to wonder if to come back and go through this again. What's your opinion? Do you have a take on if he should come back or not?
He's a competitor. I see him coming back. Will he put up the numbers he put up this season? No. The AFC is definitely moving in a stronger direction. It's only going to get tougher. We saw what Kansas City can do. They're in the same division. They're going to make it tougher for them. The Dolphins are actually moving up. You still have Baltimore in there. The Steelers are just going to get better. They were very banged up. New England. So If anything, I would say this was Peyton Manning's last chance at that Super Bowl. Can he still play? Yes. Will he win another Super Bowl?
Fans, but at the same time, you have to be, this show is called Real Talk, Real Sports for a reason, and reality is that the window, I think, has closed on him. I think this was the best shot he had at getting that one more title. And, football is one of those ultimate score. It's just not going to happen. It happened again today. The offensive line was not there for him. The running game was not there for him. Special teams was not there for him. His receivers were not there again today. The offensive line was not there for him. The running game was not there for him. Special teams was not there for him. His receivers were not getting open for him. I mean, at the end of the day, he can't throw it and catch it. He can't go block. He can't, defend. He can only do his part. I mean, he didn't have the best game of a quarterback either. I mean, I'm not going to take it off on him. But at the same time, he can't do it all on himself. I think Wilson has a bright future ahead of him. He was poised. I mean, not to be, not to make a joke of it now because the game is over. But Russell Wilson looked like the most poised quarterback out there. He was in the pocket. He moved when he had to move. He found the open guy. When he didn't have it, he took off. He used what he has, which is his legs. And he used his legs to his advantage, not only to get away from the pressure, but also to find the open guy. And when that wasn't there and the play broke down, he went and he found the first down, first team to keep the chains moving.
It seems like Russell Wilson was the first one to win that championship out of that class, huh? The Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, RG3 class, and the one who they least expected is the first to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the one that they said that it wasn't tall enough, wasn't big enough, wasn't strong enough, and the guy now is about to carry the Vince Lombardi trophy. And, I'm basically saying in my second year at 5'10", I went ahead and got a Super Bowl.
And he's got a bright future ahead of him, and I see him actually winning another one if they can keep this defensive core together.
Well, I mean, we've talked it over through and through. We've seen we saw the game. There's really not much else to say except congratulations to Seattle. You deserve it. You put in the work for it. You showed up tonight. Unfortunately, this is not like other sports where you can, play a 7-game series. This is one game and one game only, and you showed up for the one game, and that one game counted. And you are the world champions. Seattle Seahawks, congratulations for being the Super Bowl champions. Denver, maybe next year, but I hope not because I'm pulling for the Dolphins to go ahead now and make their way up the ranks. And hopefully we can see the Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
I agree with that one. It's win or go home in the NFL.
All right, well, that basically covers our Super Bowl coverage today. Just one last thing I want to cover. Did you get to see the Hall of Fame inductees last night?
Oh, yes, I did. And there was one guy actually today that I was watching during this game that reminded me of one of those Hall of Famers, and that's Russell Okung. You all remember Walter Jones? He's one of the Hall of Famers. 9-time Pro Bowl selection out of 13 seasons. He was in that 2006 NFC Championship team that didn't win the Super Bowl, but Russell Okung did get a Super Bowl this season, already has one Pro Bowl.
Well, out of the Hall of Famers that we got there, it was a nice little class. 7 people made it. You got Derek Brooks from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got Walter Jones, left tackle from the Seahawks. You got Michael Strahan, the New York Giants defensive end for many years, who brought you New Yorkers a Super Bowl. You got cornerback Aeneas Williams, who for many years was a great corner for the Arizona Cardinals, and then went on to the Rams, and he got a Super Bowl with the Rams. Then you had wide receiver Andre Reed, who was Dolphin fans. We don't like to remember who Andre Reed was. Him and those Buffalo Bills made sure we did not see a Super Bowl. And then you got the first college football. And last but not least, you have defensive lineman Claude Humphrey from the Atlanta Falcons. For many years, wreaked havoc, stopping the run and rushing the passer. Derek Brooks playing for FSU. Hard hitter, tough player, knows how to get to the ball, good coverage, good run stopper. Many good years for the Tampa Bay Bucs. So again, congratulations to the 2014 Hall of Fame class. I'm glad to see Derek Brooks get in there. Michael Strahan, like I said. So this August, hope to see you guys get inducted into Canton. And any final thoughts about either today's game or the Hall of Fame class?
One guy I'm glad to see get in there was Andre Reed. Like you said, he was a Dolphin killer, but he deserved it for many years. Still holds the record for reception yards, reception touchdowns, all for the Buffalo Bills. 5 times without getting in, finally gets in. Well deserved on his behalf.
Well, that'll do it for our show today. Unfortunately, like I said, it was not the best Super Bowl that we've ever witnessed. But again, it is Super Bowl Sunday, so for everybody out there who watched the game, hope you had fun, be safe, And again, I would like to say thank you for watching our show. Please subscribe to our show, Real Talk, Real Sports, with my co-host Michael Sanchez, and I'm your host Anthony Sanchez, saying till next time, good night.
Dolphins.